join, just to document our kickoff meeting. And in the discussion, you can either raise your hand or you can write your question in the chat, and we try to kind of organize a discussion. I'm not very routine with this, but we will try it. So in this public session, we will have the welcome notes, and then Tobias will introduce our vision, our aims, and our structure to you. And then we have an invited guest, which is very nice. So Douglas Richardson will talk about different core facility business models, like leasing versus buying scientific instruments, which is actually very interesting. So the second part, only for members, will happen without recording. It will start at 4 o'clock. And yeah, we will go through the different parts of the network, the working groups, and we will also have some issues we have to discuss, and we have to vote in the end somehow. But first, if Göttingen, I mean, it would have been in Göttingen the perfect place, because it's a very scientific city. We have 5 Max Planck institutes. We have a very research active medical center. We have the primate center. We have the DLR. So there are many heavy scientific institutes here. And we are also working together in this Göttingen campus very, very much. So very interdisciplinary. And therefore, I was asking Tobias Moser. He's the coordinator of the multi-scale bioimaging cluster of excellence, and that's actually really typical for Göttingen, I would say. So this is bringing together different disciplines around bioimaging, and that's why I asked him to say some words, because we are also doing bioimaging. And this cluster of excellence is actually focusing on excitable systems, which is the heart and the brain. And within this cluster, advanced imaging methods are applied to study these systems. And Tobias, so I was very happy that he was willing to give the welcome note for today's kickoff meeting. So I'm a bit nervous. But Tobias, you're really the best to talk here. You're not only the coordinator of this excellence cluster, but I would say you're also the personalized Göttingen research campus in a way, because you bring together with your person Max Planck, the Primate Center, University Medical Center, to promote research in otology, and so that's hearing. And your success was awarded by the Leibniz Prize in 2015, and also recognized recently by the Biot Prize of the University of Groningen. And that's a recognition for your research on the inner ear synapses, and also on the work on the optogenetic cochlear implants. So now I would like to give the floor to you, Tobias. I hope you are there.
Yes,
and you are,
I am.
Yes, very nice. Okay, so I will stop sharing my screen.
Well, thanks.
And the floor is yours.
Whoa. So now my screen disappeared. Can you still see me?
Yes.
Okay, I can't see you anymore. Okay, there you go. So Wiebke, thanks for having me. I should say, since Wiebke first told me about your initiative, I was really thrilled about it. You know, I think it would have been great to have you come here to the Göttingen campus, like also Nikolai coming back would have been great. But so we have to face it, and so let's use this format. Anyway, I mean, the Göttingen campus as a whole is excited about the initiatives that you are launching. I think it's very clear what the rationale is. Makes a lot of sense that you want to run, you know, bioimaging across scales with all the required infrastructure, and that probably the spectrum that is required, method spectrum that is required for doing so, you know, cannot be provided by a single institution, not even within the Max Planck Society, where a lot of things are possible. So on the other hand, I think that it is also a clear rationale that this momentum that imaging has brought to several fields of science should be harnessed as efficiently as possible. So I really am indebted to colleagues such as Wiebke for making cool techniques available, such as the focus ion beam SEM that we collaborate on. So I'm very happy about that for my own research, but I also see it basically for the bigger scope of, say, for example, a campus as we have it here in Göttingen. So it's a big topic for us to do joint use of infrastructure. And, you know, I will tell you that it's not always easy to do this across boundaries, but we have really tried to have a campus and basically whatever is legally possible in terms of collaboration across institutional boundaries, we really like to do, and Wiebke has already introduced the campus to some extent. I'd just like to add, and I think many of you know, that people on this campus have been contributing major innovations, you know, about Stefan Hell's work, you know, about probably Jörg Enderlein's work on super resolution as well. And then there is, of course, fast MRI, where you probably have come across the name of Jens Frahm and Martin Ucker and Susan Boretius. So yeah, I mean, imaging is a big thing for us here in Göttingen, and actually a major stepping stone for certainly past and present collaborative research programs. And Wiebke was already mentioning these cluster of excellence, which is the second one, having imaging as a core component. So what we do is try and employ imaging, but also other methods to really go from cryo-EM to MRI, you know, and the purpose then is to really propagate knowledge from molecular machines or molecular scales up to the organ scales. And that's what the title says. I mean, it's about multi-scale bioimaging from molecular machines to networks of excitable cells. And Wiebke already said that, you know, in this case, we actually try to integrate research on like cardiac cells and neurons. And, you know, that's quite an exercise because these worlds are quite remote, but imaging has the potential of bringing them together. So I can talk to colleagues who use the same kind of microscope as we do, similar cellular phenomena, but just they, of course, you know, are in their world, we are in our world, and now we're actually doing more together. So, you know, this new work also embarks on innovations such as MinFlux, but also cryo-electron tomography. We are really lucky that Ruben Fernandez Busnadego decided to join us here in Göttingen. And so we're really looking forward to all the new possibilities. So, you know, I think that it's one point that I saw also in the slides that Wiebke showed me before, that image analysis is just as important as the image acquisition. And that's something that I think will be an important aspect for your network, but also for us here in our cluster of excellence. And I think at the same time, you know, the work that we have here also highlights the challenges of operating and sharing expensive imaging infrastructure. And so, you know, I think we probably all feel the same. We hope that administration really will find practical and flexible solutions to allow that so that we can really harness, you know, potential of sharing and using jointly infrastructure, and that they kind of take away a little bit of these organizational and financial responsibilities that some of the facility managers or methods developers really face. And I think that would be a great thing within Max Planck Society, but certainly also, you know, at the different campuses. Well, I think that you will have a fair chance to build quite a unique network of people, methods, and also training opportunities. And I wish you best of luck for that. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much, Tobias. That's, yeah, so I think we are pulling on the same string, and it's all very nice to see that happening here. So if there are any questions, we have 48 people now, what is amazing.